All right, friends, it's Tima Friends, and I'm back with a brand new video. And in this video, I'm going to react to this gym lifting slave himself, recruiting slave, gym lifting recruiting slave. His name is Jay Vincent. I don't know too much about him or his channel. I've seen him before bring up some videos, so I'm going to react to this video. So Jay Vincent says, why slow reps are still king. They are not king, and I will elaborate in this video. Yep.
Are slow reps actually bad for optimal muscle growth? We're going to go over that today.
Yes. I'm going to tell you right now, slow reps are bad for optimal growth. And I don't know what he's talking about really, what kind of growth, sarcoplasmic or myofibrillar. You have to be specific as to what growth you're talking about. You just said slow reps and growth. Well, eccentrics, they don't grow muscles, they damage muscles, and then the muscles get bigger, they get stronger. Now, as far as concentric, all right, you're squeezing your muscles in the shortening phase. Yeah, you're gonna, I don't know, you're pumping your muscles up, yeah. You can pump them up with glycogen, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, okay.
Before I do, hit a like, subscribe, the bell.
Well, the reason why I say that is because the shortening phase does not damage muscles. It's the lengthening phase that damages muscles. And in that lengthening phase, we all know we get what? Well, depending on how much damage was occurred in that moment, we get a sarcomeres in series and in parallel. And we're going to get some expansion of the sarcoplasm for sure, definitely, eating some carbohydrates. You need that to make space for the new sarcomeres, right? Okay, anyways.
And all that good stuff. Should be notified when I give you evidence-based information.
Sure.
To help you get the best body that you can possibly have, okay?
I love this, evidence-based, okay.
So there are some influencers that say slowing down the negative phase of a repetition or slow repetitions in general are bad for muscle growth. Okay, and I'm gonna explain where this comes from. But
yeah, let me ask you this question. If it didn't work when you were doing it fast, what would make you think going slow would make it work? Again, he didn't elaborate why are you going slow, but I already know. I've watched most of the video. He's going to talk about eccentric exercise, and then he's going to move into something else. I am going to get there in the video soon, but slow eccentrics, if that's what you're talking about, then slow eccentrics, no, they're not going to work, because you're gonna, if you do, here's the thing, even if you were to do slow eccentrics, then you would have to spend all day there in the gym doing something really slow. The thing is this: have you ever taken a piece of wire, and then what do you do to get it to break apart? You bend it, right? But it doesn't break right away. And then you bend it the other direction, then you bend it again, and then you start bending it faster, back and forth, back and forth. You're trying to break it right in the middle, right? But it won't break because it's really tough to break. So then you do more repetitions, and then you get tired a little bit, you stop, you rest, and then you do more repetitions again. You try to break it until there's a micro tear in there, and then it breaks completely in half, right?
But the first...
Sorry, I got bumped off there. So like I said, you're trying to break it, and then eventually it breaks in the middle. Okay. So if you do it really slow, how long will it take for a micro tear to happen, as opposed to moving quickly and fast and efficiently? And also, you're moving slow, so you're adapted to the eccentric. You're lifting heavier in the concentric, but your eccentric is light going down. And if you want to build more myofibrillars, you have to go heavier in the eccentric. And it's the opposite for the concentric. These concentric, you can't make it for a full concentric because the eccentric is a lot heavier. Now, when the concentric is astronomically heavy, people are most likely not to go down with that heavy weight eccentrically anymore, like they would normally go down anyways. See what I mean? Because they're scared, because they would get injured. So I'm trying to explain to you, because they're not focused on the eccentric. That's the problem, because they did a full range of motion on the concentric. And so when they lower it, they have a tendency not to go down all the way down. That's why you see people doing these concentric squats with their butt sticking out, and they do these like pull downs with their triceps or biceps or whatever. It's all pump training, shortening. It's all shortening phases. It's not lengthening. because they're too weak on the lengthening because they never grew with the weights in the eccentric. And that's why they don't do it, because they'll get injured and end up in the hospital or some shit.
Thing is that the particular influencers claim that a slow negative, it does not recruit type 2 or fast twitch motor units.
They don't. They do in the concentric, but they don't in the eccentric, because you're not doing eccentric training, as far as I know. That's what you're talking about here, right?
And as we know, these are the muscle fibers that we are trying to excite and stimulate.
Yeah, we are.
They are the motor units that are more susceptible.
You can recruit motor units eccentrically or concentrically. Either way, depends on what you're doing.
To growth. So most of your muscle growth is coming from these type 2 or these fast twitch motor units or muscle fibers.
They're coming from the muscle fibers, not the motor units, dude. You recruit motor units. But anyway, yeah, the growth is coming from the type 2 muscle fibers and these sarcomeres, these myofibrillars, the sarcomeres in series and parallel, and you may be getting some new fibers. It depends, okay? It's complicated. It depends on how much damage was taken on in that session. I can't tell you for sure. I cannot measure that. Nobody can. It's complicated. It's something you would have to come out of it and then find out whether you built enough of these myofibrillars and maybe more fibers. If not, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. You'll know if you take so much time off like myself. I walk around, I always look like a bodybuilder because I don't lift weights anymore. Get it? I don't really lift that often. I missed the point is, when I did reach that pinnacle and built my body as big as I could, well, I could have probably even got bigger, but I went away. I moved away. But regardless, getting up to 285, it stayed for decades. More than a decade and a half or so it stayed. I didn't go to a gym for a decade and a half. So yeah, I don't know. The good majority stayed. Now, as far as the mass, a lot of mass went. Some mass definitely went. Just can't say that was all myofibrillar growth, but definitely there's a lot of myofibrillar growth there, because when I usually stay at I was always staying at a body weight of 245. I wouldn't move past that. The highest body weight I ever was at was 285. So I'd say I'm 245 with just myofibrillar, no mass. That's not bad. See what I mean?
So if that's our goal, if our goal is to get to these fast twitch muscle fibers because they grow the most, and some people think slow repetitions do not recruit them, then it would make sense that slow repetitions are bad for muscle growth.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That's not true. Not only is that not true, physiologically, it's ridiculous. Because
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm gonna tell you right now. Slowing down something will take you longer to become successful at it. You become successful when you move faster. The faster people are in society, the more they win. The faster you are in business doing stuff, or, trading stocks or whatever, you win. But if you're slow, you lose. It's kind of obvious. See what I mean? If the slower you run in a race, you'll lose. The faster you are, what are you? You win. It's kind of obvious, right? So you want to lift slow in a gym? Go ahead. A lot of people have tried that and they've never succeeded.
Units are not recruited based on the speed of your repetition.
No. Okay, he's talking about motor units, speed of repetition, but more fibers are recruited type 2 in the eccentric when you are moving faster, dude. Get it? See what I'm trying to explain to you? The faster you move, the more chances you have of causing more of these micro traumas to the muscle type 2 fibers. Therefore, they have a chance to come back and grow bigger and stronger after a week of repair and remodeling.
They're recruited based on...
If you did damage them properly and you did get this delayed onset muscle soreness, and it did last for almost approximately 3 to 4 days, and you did go for the full length of 7 days to repair and remodel them, and you were in a positive nitrogen balance, and you did what you were supposed to do. You ate so that you were in an anabolic growth state, so that you weren't hungry. You never had any hunger pains. You were in a positive nitrogen balance. and you ate some maybe complex carbohydrates with some animal fat too. And that would increase, of course, this anabolic effect. Insulin, it would increase insulin, which is anabolic and help you as well, shuffle more of these nutrients into the muscle and stuff to rebuild it. That's all. It helps with the rebuilding phase. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are going on there. It's crazy. I can't explain it. Collagen synthesis, glycogen synthesis. There's protein synthesis. There's a lots of stuff going on. Okay, there's a repair and remodeling. The satellite cells are activated. They're activated. They're proliferating, differentiating into fibroblast cells, myoblasts. They're repairing and remodeling these fibers a lot bigger and stronger. So there you go. You're getting a lot of sarcomeres in series and parallel. A whole bunch of things are going on there. You're expanding the satellite cell pool for the regeneration purposes. So there's more stem cells left over for the next bout. And then you're climbing with each bout. The whole point is to climb. So you're going to have to eat more. You're going to have to lift heavier. You're going to have to do more sets. See what I mean? You have to do things that you're unaccustomed or unfamiliar doing to keep building. You understand me? So what's unfamiliar and unaccustomed? The food that you're eating. You got to add more, eat more, do more. You have to lift more. You have to do more sets. Yeah, pretty much.
Intensity of the muscle contraction. And as you've probably heard me say many, many times before, intensity of effort.
Yeah, in eccentric exercise, that is the key. That is a key. Intensity and duration, which are pretty much the same thing. It's going to last you a long time because a lot of sets, and you're doing repetitions and sets, and you're going really heavy. It's exhausting. I mean, not totally exhausting, but you need. I mean, you're losing force production because, man, you're causing these micro injuries in the muscle, bro. Get it? So you start off with the biggest muscle groups. For example, if I just do a full upper body, try to get it all damaged, well, I'm going to do chest, back, then I'm going to move on to shoulders, arms, forearms, everything. I get massive amounts of damage there. They last for days. I can't move. I'm in a really heavy duty growth state. Trust me.
It's how your body recruits muscle.
Yeah.
The higher the intensity, the more muscle fibers are recruited, the more muscle fibers are stimulated for growth. In the end result, the more muscle growth.
Not necessarily. That's easier said than done.
But for one reason or another, some people are under the impression that going nice and slow on the eccentric or the negative phase does not recruit these fast twitch motor units. And that's false. Consider if you did an extremely...
I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying it's going to take you astronomically long to get anything to go there.
Heavy, negative-only repetition. For instance, say your max bench press was 350.
And the reason being, type 2 muscle fibers are what? Fast twitch muscle fibers, yes. Now, he says go slow. Okay, you want to go slow? Well, let's recruit the type 1 muscle fibers, the slow twitch muscle fibers. So what I'm trying to explain to you. So in eccentric exercises, why is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy a lot more predominant in the eccentric? It happens in concentric, but why more predominant in the eccentric? Well, it's kind of obvious. You're recruiting type 2 muscle fibers, and type 2 are what? They're glycolytic. They're glycolytic, bro. Get it? Yeah, that's why. And they damage. You're damaging them, and they're glycolytic. Okay? Now, the type 1 muscle fibers are what? Oxidative. See what I mean? Not to say. I'm not saying that. You're not expanding the sarcoplasm, shortening the muscle. You're losing the sarcomere in series. You're not gaining anything in parallel, but you are shortening them in series. You understand me? So they're shortening. And that's what makes it even worse when you are lifting heavy concentrically, because it's associated with a loss of sarcomeres in series. And so that's why you get injured and hurt trying to go. If you ever drop the weight or do something going down eccentrically, you're going to fuck yourself. You're going to end up in the hospital. I think people can't visualize. You need to visualize these muscle fibers. They are glycolytic type 2. They are fast twitch. They get damaged eccentrically doing heavy eccentric loads. I mean, concentrically, what's going on there? Oxidative, maybe type 1 and type 2. There's type 2 being used, of course. You're not going to gain any sarcomeres in series or in parallel. They will arrange in parallel and they'll shorten because of more force production in the opposite direction. You are leaving the planet in the opposite direction. So there's a shortening effect. It's like you're hitting a G-force. You're like in a capsule going out in space. G-forces are hitting you and you're stuck in your seat. You can't get up. See what I mean? But in a lengthened position, you're going down with gravity. So anytime you're going down with gravity, you're getting this stretch, whatever, you're going to get these damages in the type 2, okay?
Pounds.
Yeah.
And you put 275 pounds on the bar and you tried to lower it as slowly as you could. Imagine how high your intensity of effort would be. Your body would be using primarily fast twitch motor units in this particular example because the intensity of effort is high.
Yeah.
In fact, there's been some evidence recorded by Dr. Ellington Darden over the past, 5-6 decades, showing that negative-only training
Okay, what does he do? He shows these steroid people right away. Again, man, why are you showing steroid people? They're phony. They're cosmetic. They're not bodybuilders. Have you seen the old school lifters? Their bodies look built. They look like brutes. They don't look like cosmetic people on stage. These beauty pageants. Okay, dude? That's cosmetic steroids. It's fake.
Actually stimulates more muscle growth. And I think the reason might be is because people actually are able to contract their muscles harder on the negative phase, thereby exciting more motor units.
Yeah, eccentric overloads, definitely. Eccentric overload is going to recruit muscle. Yes, it's going to recruit a lot. Yeah.
Tapping into fast twitch muscle fibers even more efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
And not only is this belief that slower negatives don't recruit fast twitch muscle fibers.
No, slow. No. I'm not saying it doesn't recruit. It'll take you astronomically too long. He's going to talk about eccentric overload now. Sorry, I got mixed up there.
There's actually some new evidence to suggest that overloading the negative phase actually preferentially recruits these muscle fibers.
There you go. See, eccentric overload, overloading the eccentric will recruit these muscle fibers type 2. Of course they will. Of course it will. And moving quickly and fast.
Now, I was at an exercise conference about 3 or 4 months ago, and Dr. James Fisher,
But again, if you're adapted to the eccentric and it's coming down lighter than it went up, you can go as slow as you want forever. Nothing is going to happen there. But now, the question is, if you do eccentric overload slow, if you do it slowly, will you get this damage in the muscle fibers? Well, I cannot say that you will not in an overload. See, that's the difference now. Now, he was talking about doing something light. Well, you would have to overwork it to get something going on there. But now, if you're going astronomically heavy, really heavy, because that's why you're going slow, because you're going so heavy that you can only manage it slow. See what I mean? You're going like crazy heavy, which is ridiculous because you don't need to do that. But you can do eccentric overload, very heavy, not to the point where it's too heavy. We still have to lift with the concentric. We should be able to lift concentrically because that's what we want. Look, eccentric overload means that we cannot make it for a full concentric. That's all. Because it's astronomically heavy in the eccentric. It's the opposite of concentric.
Is a prolific exercise researcher on muscular strength and size and how to achieve that the most effectively and efficiently.
Sure.
Presented some research, and he said in his presentation that there was some evidence to show that overloading the negative phase preferentially recruits these type 2 fast twitch motor units, which would actually...
No, really? No kidding. You don't say.
Make negative only training with slightly heavier loads more effective and more efficient.
You think you've been watching some of my videos? You know, I'm pretty sure some of these people catch on. They've seen my videos on the internet.
For stimulating optimal muscle growth compared to regular concentric combined with eccentric loading. But keep in mind, the primary reason for slowing down your repetitions is not for optimizing muscle growth. It's not for some secret muscle growth hack that is going to prepare.
What do you mean secret muscle growth hack? Muscle grows in the eccentric It doesn't grow concentrically, unless, of course, you want to grow sarcoplasmic, just sarcoplasmic, shortening your muscles. And I don't know if you're a phony lifter, okay, friend. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not accusing you of anything. I don't know. I don't know what people are doing on the internet. You could be cosmetic for all I know. I don't know.
Tell you to the...
I mean, you showed these steroid guys, so that obviously already you lost credibility there.
Greek god-like physique because you're doing slow repetitions instead of the herky-jerky nonsense that a lot of people do at Planet Fitness. The point is simply to preserve your joints. It is to make the exercise safer. And even if doing more explosive repetitions or faster repetitions or repetitions that involve more external force, even if it provided a little bit better muscle growth, which it does not, it simply wouldn't be worth it because you couldn't do it long term. Most people, of course...
Who says you can't do it long term? Who says? Because you say so?
Not all, but most people would experience joint pain, or in the worst case scenario...
There you go. He has no experience. They would get joint pain. You don't get joint pain doing eccentric exercises. If anything, you get all the joint pain doing it concentrically because it deteriorates you. Concentrically lifting, that's the thing. It deteriorates you because it's not regenerative. So it deteriorates you, does the opposite. Eccentric exercise it's associated with regeneration. It regenerates your ligaments and tendons, can help with your joints and a bunch of stuff. So you're wrong. You're making that up, and I don't see any science to back it up. Me, I have my community section. I always post everything. Everything's in there. I have videos on it. I explain it. I talk about it.
A connective tissue injury if they were doing fast, explosive repetitions. Now, of course, the best training program that is going to provide the best results is going to be the one that you can do consistently over a long period of time.
Yeah. The point of eccentric exercise is it's based on the principles of real bodybuilding, because real bodybuilding is not a sport. It can't be. It's impossible, because real bodybuilding compromises sportive performance lifting eccentrically. We lift eccentrically, we get better lifting concentrically, because that's why it's superior. PubMed, NCBI will corroborate what I say. Eccentric exercise is superior to concentric in every way when it comes to force production, when it comes to building these myofibrillars, when it comes to getting stronger, getting hypertrophy, muscle mass, and all this kind of stuff. It is superior in every way, dude.
So if you're doing a training approach that is dangerous and the likelihood of injury is high, that's going to reduce your ability to do it consistently.
No, it is only dangerous, and you get this injury thing that you're talking about, is if you only lift concentrically and you've never lifted eccentrically. And so let's say you're adapting to the weight concentrically, going up heavier in the concentric form, but never doing the eccentric. And so when you get there and you drop the weight, you get injured. You get injured because you don't have any sarcomere in series. You never built them, or your ligaments and tendons as well. They never repaired and remodeled either, so that they would protect you from the eccentric phase going down, and you wouldn't get injured. Get it, dude? That's why you want to do eccentric. And not only that, but you're going to get more sarcomere also in parallel. So that will increase your force production concentrically. You understand me? And you'll be stronger as well eccentrically. So you'll have two force productions, 2 in 1. You'll be stronger than the majority of your friends. You should be stronger than them, because you will build more type 2 more of these sarcomeres in parallel, and you'll be stronger than them eccentrically because you increase them longitudinally. Get it? In series, dude. That's why. And you recruit more motor units.
In long term. And this is another reason slowing down the repetitions is better, because you can stick to a program that is safe for a long period of time without having a nagging injury kick you out of the gym for several months and undoing all the results that you worked for. So when you see these...
What results did you work for lifting concentrically? What did you get there exactly? Shortening your muscles, ass cheek squeezing your muscles, squeezing them constantly with weights. What do you get when you squeeze your muscles with weights? And what do you get when you lengthen your muscles heavy, eccentrically, as opposed to concentrically, ass cheek squeezing them?
Clueless influencers who are just trying to be contrarian and controversial.
Sure.
Say silly things like,
Of course,
slowing down a repetition is bad for muscle growth. Just ignore them, because it is, in fact, absolute nonsense. If you want a program,
it isn't nonsense. You go ahead and try it. See, he's just making this stuff up because he doesn't have experience. He would know, he could tell you from experience, but he can't. So he's fabricating it. That's the difference. See, the difference between a lot of these so-called fitness guru guys, whatever, these fake fitness people, is that they lack experience, and then they want to explain something to you, but they can't. And so they make it up. And then a person who has experience like myself will just destroy these people. You understand? I bury them with all the real information. I bury them. I destroy them in these videos. Do you understand me? Like I destroy every other one of these people, these so-called influencers, in my videos. My videos, I destroy these people. That's what I do. I annihilate them.
to be long-term and thereby the most effective, you should keep your repetitions slow.
It can be long-term lifting eccentrically because you're just focused on building more sarcomeres and these fibers and mass. That's it. And some sarcoplasmic, the sarcoplasma a bit. So that's if that's your goal, then that's what you should do. When you come out of it, it is a carry over to every sport. You'll be a beast in arm wrestling, floor wrestling, fighting, I don't know, gymnastics, whatever you want to do. You'll be good at all these things. Why? Because you have more sarcomeres. They enhance your performance, and you have more nuclei. They also enhance your performance. You understand me, bro? They make you bigger, better, stronger, and faster. Strength, power, speed, and performance is associated with eccentric exercise.
And controlled in order to preserve your joints, maintain and preserve your health. Now, if
you preserve your joints when you don't just lift concentrically, you lift eccentrically, because you can regenerate them. Stronger, bigger, better, stronger, faster.
You want to maximize your muscle growth, you're going to need a coach. You're going to need an expert to guide you through every single small detail to make sure you're doing it properly.
Yeah, you need a coach, but a lot of these coaches, they lack experience. That's the problem. They don't have the experience. They're just got a rule book, or they read something, they saw something somewhere.
Perfectly. And this is what I do in my VIP coaching program. If you want me to personally guide you through to the...
So he's going to coach you now, and he lacks the experience. He's going to coach you, bro. Wow. This is incredible, man.
Best muscle growth and the best physique you can possibly have.
Yeah.
Click the link in the description. Book a free call with me.
What if he's taking something artificial? Are you going to get the best physique and all that kind of stuff? I can tell you this right now. If you are a natural lifter and you are trying to build one of these phony physiques, steroid physiques, good luck. Because natural, real bodybuilding, whatever you want to call it, lifting, does not do that. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's not going to get you a steroid body.
We'll talk about it, and I'll show you how I can help you, so that way you don't waste several years of your life trying all this influencer nonsense with little or nothing to show for it. So that's it for today, guys. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell so you'll be notified when I give you more evidence-based information so you get the best physique.
What evidence-based? He made it up. He gave no evidence.
Of your life without wasting your time, without messing up your body in the process.
All right, friends, I'll see you in the next video. Tell us to think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one. Ciao. That was ridiculous, man. It's people like this on the internet why people are failing out there. It's pathetic.